ഹരി ഓം ഹരി ഓം. കുറയ്ക്കണമോ? ഹരി ഓം ഹരി ഓം. Oh, this is static. They should correct that. Tell Gajanan bhai. Yeah. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudatulyabegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutamukyam Sriramadutam Sirasadamami. Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Satchidanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Nilambujasyamala Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vama Bhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvam Shanatham. Janmatyasya yatonvayatidarata chartopishnyaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adigavaye Muhyandi Yatsuraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastaguhagam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharma Projita Kaida Votra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavamatra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayonmoolanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrite Kim va Pareirishwaraha Sadyo Hritya Varudhyate Trakritibihi शुश्रूषुभित्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुगाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदो तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपमतितितीर्षतां समोन्दम् संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So, we have seen the first topic, Dharma, with the story of Lord Shiva and Sati. Now we are entering to the next topic, that is Artha, with the story of Dhruva. Dhruva Charitram. Maitreya Uvacha. Ashtamodhyaya. Sanakadya Naradascha Rabhurharso Runiryatihi Naite Grihan Brahmasuta Yavansanurdhvaredasaha. Now the first paragraph, he is going to talk about the whole dynasty, who married whom and all that. Very interesting. You can see among the offspring of Brahma, Sanaka and the other three Kumaras, along with Narada, Ribhu, Aruni, Hamsa and Yati, they all remained perpetual brahmacharis. They didn't get married. And therefore there is no descendant. Mrisha dharmasya bharyasit dambham maya jashatruhan asuta mithunam tatto nirdir jahrihe prajaha. Now here you see the Atharma is one of Brahmaji's progeny. Atharma also created. Atharma means unrighteous. That was also born of Brahmaji only. And had Mrisha. He married, Atharma married what? Mrisha. Mrisha means what? Untruth. As his wife. And she gave birth to Damba. This is disconnecting. He gave birth to Damba. Damba means hypocrisy. See, look at this connection. Atharma married to Mrisha and gave birth to whom? Damba. And also Maya, deceit. So Maya, Maya Asura and all that you must have heard. Maya Yuddham. Now these two became united as husband and wife. Who?
Recording in progress.
Damba and connecting. I don't know why. Anyway, they gone to the other place. So, Damba and Maya, their son is the one Nirti. So there is a Rakshasa called Nirti. Ah, those days it was like that. Because look at this now Manu and Shatarupa, they are also sister and brother. Yeah. So we are all progenies of that only. Because there is nobody else. What else to do? So in our country, India, Iranians, so they were very careful about their own species. So they used to marry close relations. So that's why that particular they slowly started declining, you see, in India especially. So they married what? United. Now later on, Prithuraja also you will see. Prithu and Archi came from the same. Then they married. So it's called Rakshasa Nirti. The Nirti, you can see in the Ashtadik Palagas that. Huh? Yeah. So, Nirti. Now, he did not have any issue. He must have married, but he didn't have children. Now, Tayoho Samabhava Lobho Nikrdischa Mahamate Tabhyam Krothascha Himsacha Yaduruktis Swasakalihi. All these are negativity. Damba and Maya had also as their progeny Lobha, greed, and Nikriti. Nikriti means obstinacy. From them, Krodha, anger, and Himsa, slaughter, were born. They gave birth to Kali. Kali means evil, and his sister Durukti. Durukti means foul speech. So these are all not our mistakes, okay? Now we can understand it is all Bhagavan creation only. Durukto kaliradatta bhayam mrityum ja sattamam tayoscha mitunam jetnye yatana niyatastadha. Kali begot in Durukti bhaya, fear, and mrityu, death. And these in turn begot yatana, intense pain, and niraya, hell. There is a yatana shariram you get after when you go to hell. They give you yatana shariram. And sangrahena maya khyata pradisargastavanakha trishrutve tat puman punyam vidhunotyatmano malam. O pure one, I have thus in brief expounded to you the pratisarga, counter evolution based on atharma, which led to the degradation of jivas. If you follow this path, it is a degradation of jiva. If a man seriously listens to this line of progeny 3 times with a view to avoid them at all costs, he will be able to overcome the evil of the heart and attain to great virtue. So if you want to get out of this, you have to listen to this lineage. Now, let us come to the topic. After that. Athata kirtaye vamsham punyakirte gurudvaha swayambhuvasyapi manor hareram shamsa janmana priyavradottanapadav शतरूपापते सुतौ वासुदेवस्य कलया रक्षायां जगतस्थितौ. Manu represent manas, Shatarupa represent buddhi, intellect. Shatarupa? Not what? Shatarupa, buddhi. Buddhi has got Shatarupas. Buddhi has got Shatam means 100 different thoughts. So therefore, you can say thoughts also, but buddhi. Buddhi is the seat of thoughts, right? Now, Kirtaye Vamsham Punyakirte Kurudva. A Kuru clan, the son of Kuru clan, I shall next describe the extremely holy line of Swayambhuva Manu, of extensive fame, who was himself a portion of a part of the Lord, that is, son of Brahma. Brahmaji was part of Bhagavan, isn't it? What is that? Priyamvrata and Uttanapada, the 2 sons of Swayambhuva Manu by his wife Shatarupa. So they have 5 children, right? 3 girls and 2 sons. Who are the 3 girls? Their story we heard already. Devahuti, Prasuti, Akuti. So Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti. Prasuti was married to Daksha Prajapati. Devahuti married to Karda Marishi. Akuti married to, anybody remember? Akuti. Akuti was married to, look for it. Ask ChatGPT. Try, it will tell you. Okay, find out, tell me. Huh? Ruchi. जाये उत्तानपादस्य सुनीतिर्सुरुजिस्तयोः सुरुचिप्रेयसी पत्युः नेतरा यत्सुतो ध्रुवः. Ah, very beautifully said. Of this, Uttanapada had two wives. That's why Ramachandraji said Ekapatni Vratam. Why problem unnecessarily? So here he says Suniti and Surichi by name, and by whom the latter was very dear to the king. Surichi was very dear to the king. Suniti and Suruchi. Beautiful name. We can use that next time somebody asks name. So, Suruchi means good taste. And Suniti means good contact. Yeah. Yeah. Now wonder what happened. That's okay. Tatha chikishamanam anantam sapatnyatanayam dhruvam surjishrunvato rajnyaha Sirshamahadir Garvita. I didn't read the ninth one. Ekata Suruche Putram Angamaropya Lalayan Uttamam Narurukshandam Dhruvam Rajabhyanandana. One day King Uttanapada was fondling Uttama, his son by Suruchi, holding him on his lap, when Dhruva, the son of Suniti, also came forward to be fondled. The king did not however encourage him for fear of Suruchi. Look at this. Great king, a monarch, afraid of his wife. See. Extremely haughty as she was, Suruchi, on seeing her co-wife's son, Dhruva, presenting himself to be seated on the king's lap, along with her own son, burst into the following bitter words in the very hearing of the king. Navatsat nrapate dishnam bhavanarodu marhati nagrihito mayayatvam kukshabapi nripatmajaha balosi badanatmanam anyastri garbhasamritam nunam veda bhavan yatsya durlabherthe manoratha tapasaradhya purusham tasyaivanugrahena me garbhe tvam sadhayatmanam yadichasi nripasanam. Look at her arrogance. Boy, you do not deserve to be seated on the king's lap. For why? Though you are the king's son, you are not born of me. Being a mere boy, you are not aware of that. You are born of the womb of another woman. So you sought this privilege which is impossible and improper for you to think of. Now, if you aspire to sit on the king's lap, you have got to worship the Lord, and by His grace, what boon you should ask when you propitiate Bhagavan? That you be born in my womb. Think about it. And by His grace, be born in my womb. Then only you deserve to sit the lap of your father. Now, what happened to the boy? Maitreya Uvacha. Matu sapatnyasa durukti ittaha srasan rusha dandahato yatahi itva mishantam pitaram sannavacham jagamamadu prarudan sakasham. Hit by the sharp words of the stepmother, the boy hissed out long breaths like an angry serpent hit by a stick. Crying aloud, he ran away to his mother. As he found his father sitting unmoved by all that he heard and saw, that hurt him more. If father has consoled him, things would have been different. But father also did not say anything. Tam nishasandam spuritadarostam sunitirutsanga uduhya balam nishammatat pauramukhan nitantam savikyate yat gyatitam sapatnyam. The boy who was weeping with prolonged sobs and trembling lips was taken on her lap by his mother Suniti. By the time she already heard what has happened from her, they all had their own spies network. So her attendant, they already informed before the boy came to her what happened. The cruel words of her co-wife. But look at Suniti's advice. That's very important. Sotrijadhairyam vilalapasogada Agnina dhavalata vyabhala Vakyam sapatnya smarati saroja Sriyadrisha bhashpavagala upaha Dirgham shravatsasanti Vrijinasya param Apashyati balakamahabala Mamangalam tata parishramam sta Bhunkte jano yat paradukkadastam. And she advised that helpless lady, 17th verse, finding no relief for her sorrow, sighed deeply and told her son, bear no ill will towards others. Whoever causes distress to others reaps the fruit of it afterwards in the shape of suffering. Now she says, Satyam suruchya vihitam bhavan me yad दुर्भगाया उदरे गृहीतः तन्येन वृद्धश्च विलज्यते यां भार्येदि वा वोढुमिडस्पतिर्भामाम्. What Suriji said was right. See, her balance of mind. For you are born in me and nourished by me, an unfortunate creature whom the king is ashamed to accept as his wife, not even consider me as a what you call servant, handmaid. आतिष्ठतत्ताद विमत्सरत्वमुक्तं समात्रापि यतव्यलीगम् आराधयादोक्षचपादपद्मं यदीच्छसेध्यासनमुत्तमो यथा. Therefore, oh dear one, accept without any ill will the advice given to you, even though it be from the co-wife of your mother. Worship the Supreme Lord Mahavishnu. If you desire to be seated in the king's lap like Uttama. So, sometimes people, get angry and give you some words, but sometimes take it as a good spirit. This is what she did. This is what we have to learn from Suniti. Even though she spoke in anger, but there is something good in that. What is that? Worship Mahavishnu. Take that part. The rest of it, leave it. Yasyanghripatnam paricharya vishwa vibhavanayattagunabhipatte ajotyadishtat khalu parameshtyam padam nijatmasvasanabhivandyam. It is by the service of Mahavishnu, who has assumed a sattvika form for the purpose of protection of the world. Brahma has come to occupy the Satyaloka, which even yogis with perfect self-control aspire to gain. Now the 22nd verse. Tameva vatsashraya bhrityavatsalam mumukshubir bhrikyapadapcha pathavitum pathadim ananya bhave nijadharma bhavite manasya vastapya Bhajasva Purusham. Dear one, install that all-pervading Lord in your heart, being prepared by the observance of Bhagavata Dharma and by unswerving devotion. Bhagavata Dharma is what? Yat karoshi yadashnasi. That is Bhagavata Dharma. Whatever you do, you offer to Bhagavan, that is called Bhagavata Dharma. And worshipping Him who is fond of His servants and whose feet all liberation seekers strive to attain. So this was advice of Suniti, mother to son. The Maitreya says, Evam sanjalpidam madhur agarnyarthagamam vajaha sanyayamyatmanatmanam nischakrama pidupurad. Maitreya says, hearing this sound advice of his mother, though given in the form of a grief-stricken prattle, the boy Dhruva controlled his mind and left his father's city. Got out, 5-year-old boy. Okay. Look at this. There is a Dharma Shastra. It says, Balascha kula vruddhascha nirdahatyandava manitaha avamanitaha. One should not insult children or old people. They say, so Dharma Shastra says. Balascha kula vruddhascha nirdahatyava avama nirdahatyavamanitaha nirdahantyavamanitaha nirdahantyavamanitaha plural. Now what happened? Vigalpe vidyamanepi nahyasantoshahetavaha pumso mohavrde bhinna yelloke nijakarshibihi. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I went ahead. Narad, 25th verse. Naradastudupakarnya nyatva tasya chikirshitam prishtva murthanyakannena panina prahavismitaha. So, sage Narada, coming to know of it, Bhagavan knew immediately the boy, 5-year-old boy, my devotee is going. Immediately he sent Narada. Go and help him. See, that's why once you start the thought of Bhagavan, Bhagavan's help will come in one form or other. He approached the boy and touched his head, blessed him. And he said the following. That Aho tejakshatriyanam manabhangama vrishadam balopyayam hridadatte yatsamadurasatthaja. Aho, you are a little boy, but still a Kshatriya. It is not surprise. Even a small boy like you cannot forget the cruel words of a stepmother. And I said, Nadutapyavamanam te sammanam vapi putraka lakshayama kumarasya saktasya kridanadishu. And I said, oh dear child, you are a little child. This is not the time to think about honor, dishonor, etc. It is the time for you to play. You don't have 5-year-old child. What is the point talking about honor, dishonor? You go and play with your toys. Vikalpe vidyamanepi nahyasantoshahetava pumso mohavrite bhinna yelloke nijakarmabhihi. One may have the sense of being honored or dishonored, but the feeling of happiness and unhappiness associated with these are only due to the infatuation caused by ignorance. A child, innocent child, ignorant, the ego is not developed yet. So how can you have that? Happiness and unhappiness in life are due to karmas of the past. So therefore, paridushyet tatastata tavan matrena purushaha daivopasaditam yavat viksheshwaragatim buddha. Oh dear one, a wise man who has faith in the divine should feel satisfied with whatever happens, that this is the Lord's will. Atha matropadishtena yogena varurutsasi yat prasadam savai pumsam durar adyo mato mama. The Supreme Lord, whose worship has been advised by your mother, it is very difficult to be propitiated. It's not an easy path. Why? Because Munayappadavim yasya nissangeno rujanmabhi navidur mrgayantopi tivra yoga samadhina. Great sages, devoid of worldly attachment, worship him through the constant practice of samadhi, and yet fail to reach him. Therefore, what is my advice? 32nd verse. Ato nivartada amesha nirbandhastava kilfalaha nishpalaha nirbandhastava nishpalaha yadishyati bhavan kale shreyasam samupastite. Therefore, abstain from your present resolution, as it will be fruitless effort. You can do all that after reaching proper age. You grow up, you will do it. Oh. Whatever happens, good or bad, happiness or sorrow, you consider it is Bhagavan's will and be happy. Now this is a very beautiful, 34th is a beautiful advice for everybody. Narada's advice, okay? Gunathikan mudam lipped anukrosham gunathamat maitrim samanadin vichenna tapair abhibhuyate. If one come across another with superior qualities, one should congratulate him and not feel jealous. It's a very good advice. If somebody is superior to you, don't feel jealous, but congratulate. With a person with inferior qualities, one should be sympathetic. And with one equal to oneself in virtue, one should entertain friendship. So these are the three methods. Superior, congratulate him. Inferior, be sympathetic. Equal, friendship. One who follows this rule never suffers. Very good advice, right? Now look at this boy's answer. Soyam shamo bhagavata sugadukkaha datmanam darshita kripaya pumsam durdarshosmattvite studeha. That path to peace which is difficult for a person like us to understand is what you now declared for the benefit of creatures distressed by the pairs of opposite like happiness and misery. But athapi me vineetasya kshatram Ghoramupeyushaha Surucha Durvajorbane Nabhinne Sayate Hrdi. But this advice does not make an impression on my mind, which has the Kshatriya character of pride and resistance to injury. In this instant, generated by the arrows of abuse inflicted on my heart by my stepmother Suruchi. Padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu vatmame ruhyasmat pitrabhir brahmat anyer apyanatishtitam. O Great One, show me the way to attain the state far superior to all in the three worlds, and which even my grandfather could not attain. The idea is that I have seen you now. That means definitely Bhagavan's blessing is there. Otherwise, to see you is not easy. The very fact that I have your darshan itself will give me courage and confidence that I will achieve my goal. He says, Munam bhavan bhagavato yongaja parameshtinaha vidudan natate veenam idartam jagadurkavate. You are truly the son of Brahma. With sounding your veena and singing the glory of the Lord, you go about the world for its welfare like the sun itself. And that means what? You are going around for the welfare of the whole humanity. So you take care of my welfare also. That's the idea. So, and Narada thought, ye to pakka hai bhai. He is not ordinary child. Maitreya vacha ityudha hridamakarnya bhagavan naradastada priyitha pratyahadam balam sadvakyam anukambaya. The all-knowing sage Narada was very much pleased to hear Dhruva's words and advised him mercifully for his own good. Now Narada said, Jananya vihita pantha savai nishreyasasyate Bhagavan vasudevastam vajatat pravanatmana. Tat pravanatmana. It is beyond doubt that you can attain to the Supreme Good only through Vasudeva, as pointed out by your mother. Therefore, worship Him with complete dedication of your heart. Dharmarthagamamokshakyam yaiche shreya atmanah ekameva hares tatra karanam padasevanam tattadagaccha badram te yamunayastadam shuchi punyam madhuvanam yatra sannityam nitpada nityada hare. So he advised him to go to Madhuvanam. Madhuvanam is near Yamuna, where he says Bhagavan's Sannithyam is still there. See, this is happening in Satyayuga, Dhruva-charitram. And Krishna's birth is Dwapara Yuga. So he's talking about even after. Now he advises bathing in the three sandhyas in the Yamuna. And that is all instructions are given from 43 to 44. Snatvanusanam tasmin kalindya sadile shive kruttojidani nivasan atmanak kalpidasana pranayamena trivruta pranendriya manomalam shaner udasya vidhyayen manasa guruna gurum. Bathing at the three sandhyas in the holy water of Yamuna, duly honoring the deities and seated properly, Mukhasanam, performing the three kinds of pranayama. What do you call it? Three types of pranayama. Lom, Anulom, Ramari. Then Antakumbha, Bahikumbha. So before Antakumbha, Bahikumbha practice, you have to do Lom and Lom. And gradual purification of the senses and the mind. One should meditate upon the Lord. Now, pranayama is for keeping the mind concentrated. We saw that, right? Where we saw this? Laya vinashane vayarodhane Ekatam punar bhavati no mrutam. Remember this? So there Ravana Maharshi says, prana and mind is connected. Shakti Moolakam, Sakhayor Doi Shakti Moolakam. And prasadabhimukapshashyat prasannavadanekshanam sunasam susrupam charukapolam surasundaram. From here onwards, the description of Bhagavan's beauty. So word description, word painting. Narada gave the description of Bhagavan's beauty. Beautiful. Now, you should know how to meditate, to whom you should meditate. So, to meditate upon that Lord whose beauty was given here. Beautiful eyebrows, nose, charming cheeks, and dazzling even to the Devas, endowed with youth, attractive features, having ruddy lips and eyes, affording shelter to all refugees, having the auspicious mark Srivatsa, looking blue like a rain cloud, with the rath of Tulsi Mala, having 4 hands, conch, discus, mace, lotus held in them, decorated with a diadem, earrings, arms, bands, and bracelet, sporting the jewel Kaustuba on his neck, wearing a yellow cloth, like this. He gave a description. Up to, yes. Now 54th verse. He gave the mantra. Dvadashakshari mantra. Arda gave mantra to Dhruva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya kuryat द्रव्यमयीं बुधः सपर्यां विविधे द्रव्ये देशकालविभागवित्. The devotee with a proper understanding of the time and place should repeat this mantra of these 12 letters and worship him with various auspicious materials. Make offerings to him with pure water, flower garlands, fruits and roots of the forest, material like Shashtangura and Amshuka, tender grass and bark. And above all with Tulasi, which is very dear to the Lord. Now, worship can be 56th verse, he says, Labdva dravyamayi macham chityam vadishu varchayed apradatma munishando yathavangmidavanyabhuga. Worship may be done before an image made of stone or metal. It may be on the earth or in water. The worshipper must control his senses and must be contemplative, peaceful, given to speaking only on divine topics and living on a spare diet of pure substances. These are all the rules. We have to tell our children when they sit before the Saraswati Puja. If they speak in between, talk only about divine topics. That's a description how to meditate upon Bhagavan. What are the rules to be observed? Giving such instruction. 62 verse. Ityuktastam parikramya pranamya chandrabharbhagaha yayo madhuvanam punyam hare charanacharchidam tapovanam gade tasmin pravishtondapuram munihi arhidarhanako rajnya sukasina uvachatam. After Narada had thus completed his instruction, Dhruva went around him and departed to Madhuvana, beautified and sanctified by the feet of Lord. Now, when the boy departed to Madhuvana, what Narada did, he went and met Uttanapada. He was grieving. By the time the child left, the father started repenting. So Narada asked, "O king, why are you so sad?" As though he doesn't know. Raja said, "O great one, my atrocious and merciless self is responsible for the expulsion of my noble-minded and intelligent boy, only 5-year-old child. I don't know what will happen to him in the forest. He must be roaming about without food and drink, or we don't even know, he will be eaten by the wild animals." Look at the meanness to which I have descended due to my subjection to a woman's charm. My despicable self rejected the loving advance of my boy to be seated on my lap. Narada said, "Don't worry. Grieve not. The boy is protected by the Lord as his very son. You are not aware of his greatness. He is going to be a world famous personage. Soon will that boy return after accomplishing feats which even the guardian deities of the quarters cannot equal, and in the process enhancing your name, fame." Because they will all tell Dhruva's father, right? Maitreya Vacha Iti Devarshina Proktam Vishrutya Jagadhipadihi Rajalakshmi Manadritya Putramevanvachindayante Tatrabhishikta Prayatas Tam upopsya vibhavarim samahita paryachara drishyadeshena purusham. Now, hearing these words of Devarshi Narada, the king became absorbed in the thought of his son. He forgot about the prosperous kingdom also. To take care of the kingdom also he forgot. Now, what happened to Dhruva? He bathed in the Yamuna to purify himself, fasted for the night, and meditated on Sri Hari with concentration as instructed by his Guru Narada. Now, how he did tapas is given here. Very beautiful. त्रिरात्रान्ते त्रिरात्रान्ते कभित्तबदराशनः आत्मवृत्त्यनुसारेण मासं निन्नेर्चयन् हरिम्. He spent 1 month in the worship of Sri Hari, eating only some fruits once in 3 days to maintain his body. द्वितीयं च तथा मासं षष्ठे षष्ठेर्भगो दिने तृणापर्णादिभिः शीर्णैः कृदान्नोऽभ्यर्चयत् विभुम्. The second month he carried on his worship, eating only grass and dry fallen leaves once in 6 days. Think about it. The little boy. Tritiyam janayan masam navame hani abdaksha uttama shloka upadhavat samadhina. Taking in only water once in 9 days. He spent his 3rd month of worship in continuous samadhi. Chadurthamapi vai masam dvadashe hani vayuvaksho jidashvaso dhyayan devamatharayat. Look at this. During the 4th month, he established control over his breath and taking in only air once in 12 days. He remained in unbroken samadhi. He take once in 12 days he take breath. Then Antakumbha. पंचमे मात्यनुप्राप्ते धियश्वासो नृपात्मजः यायन् ब्रह्मपदैकेन तस्थौ स्थाणुरिवाचलः. Wow. When it came to the 5th month, Dhruva established absolute control over his breath, abandoning even taking in air once in 12 days. Absorbed in meditation, he began standing on a single leg like a fixed post. Staduriva. Sarvato mana akrishya hridi bodhendriyashayam dhyayan bhagavato rupam nadrakshit kinchanaparam. Withdrawing the mind into the buddhi, he perceived nothing but the Lord's form which he was meditating upon. Adharam mahadadinam pradhana purusheshwaram brahmadharayamanasya trayo lokascha kampire. As he meditated with perfect concentration on Brahman, the support of Mahat and all the 3 worlds trembled at his tapas. Yadekapadena sa parthivarbhagat tastau tadangushta nibhididamahi nanavadatthabhibhendra dishtita tariva sakhyeta ratha pade pade. As the boy periodically shifted his stance, because one leg, standing, must have changed his position. The earth rocked under the pressure of his toe, as a boat rocks under the feet of an elephant standing in it. Like that. तस्मिन्नभिध्यायति विश्वमात्मनो द्वारं निरुद्ध्यासु मनन्यया धिया लोका निरुच्छावसनिपीडिता वृशंसलोकपाला शरणं ययुर्हरिम्. Now, Dhruva breathed in. As a result of that, what happened? He breathed in the entire pranavayu. He began to meditate on Srihari as one with the universe and himself as none other than him. Everyone in the universe, including the Devas, the guardians, began to feel breathless. They resorted to Sri Hari. Immediately, they can't breathe. So they went to Bhagavan Hari. Deva said, Naivam vidamo Bhagavan pranarodham charajarasya agilamat sattvadamna Videhi danno vrijinati moksham prapta vayam tvam charanam charanyam. This universal afflicting all the world at once is totally unknown to us. Therefore, free us from this difficult situation. Bhagavan said, Ma vaishtabalam tapaso duratyaya nivartyayishye pratiyata swadhama yato hiva prana nirodha asit autana padirmai sangatatma. Do not get frightened. I shall take steps to stop the practice of this unheard austerity. That have been taken up by this boy. Dhruva, the son of Uttanapada, is meditating in a perfectly breathless state on me. Let me go and see him. Maitreya Vaja. Tayeva mutsannabhaya urukrame kritavanama prayustrivistabam sahasrashirshapi tato gurutmata makorvanam vrityadi drikshaya gataha. Devas now return to their own abode. After Bhagavan consoled them, Bhagavan went to Madhuvanam to see his devotee. He was also curious, who is this boy? Savedhiya yoga vipakativrayam hritpatma koshe Puridam Tadit Prabham Tirohidam Sahasaivopalakshya Behistidam Tadavastam Dadarsha. Thereupon a lightning like and luminous form of the Lord that Dhruva was experiencing in his heart disappeared from his heart. See, Dhruva was meditating upon the form of Lord in his heart. When Bhagavan appeared before him, he was meditating upon that form in his heart. That disappeared. Naturally, the boy opened his eyes, and when he looked at in front of him, that Lord is standing. See the surprise of the child. Fourth verse, Satam Vivakshanda Madatvidam Haritnya Tvasya Sarvasya Cha Hridyavastidaha Kridanjalim Brahmamayena Kambuna Pasparshabalam Kripaya Kapole. And the boy wants to praise Bhagavan. He doesn't know how to praise him. A 5-year-old child. What does he know about Bhagavan's glory? Bhagavan understood this. What he did with this conch, he touched his cheek. The conch is nothing but Vedas, Veda Gosha. So Bhagavan touched his cheek with the conch, and immediately this Dhruva started singing his praise. It's a very, Dhruva Stuti is very beautiful Stuti. We'll see some of them. The first is what? Dhruva Vacha Yonta Pravishya Mimam Prasuktam Sanjeevayatyagila Shaktidhara Sudhamna Anyancha Hastajarana Shravanattvagadin Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. My salutations to the Supreme Being who having entered my heart, Yonta Pravishya, you entered my heart and enlivened all my limbs, senses and vital powers, and have presently awakened the power of speech, with which I can now express this hymn. So that is also very beautiful. The words I am speaking is possible only because of his presence. Ekastvameva Bhagavan nitamatma shaktya mayakyayo ruganaya mahadadyashesham srishtanu purushattad guneshu naneva darushu vibha vasuvat vibhasi. He is telling how the creation. You are everything, having created the entire creation with the 3 gunas. Then you entered into it. Yat srishtva tadevanupravishad tadanupravishya satyatyacha bhavati. So that is the same. Taittreya is given here. By your grace alone, that Brahma, awakened by you, had the ability to create everything. Now, after praising him, now what he wants, he tells you. 11th verse. And he says on the 9th verse, people who wants only sense pleasures are the lost souls. Because after worshipping him, what people ask generally, material wealth, isn't it? Especially Rakshasas, etc. They want what? Indra Padavi, isn't it? Means what? Pleasure. They are all lost souls, he says. Why? Even animals also want only that. So, now what he says, 11th verse, Bhaktim moho pravahadam toyime prasango bhuyat ananda mahadatma maladashayanam yenanjasol bhanamurukhyatasanam bhavantim neshye bhavat gunakathamritapanamattaha. May I always enjoy the association of your devotees who are absolutely pure in mind, who are ever engaged in cultivating loving devotion to thee. With satsanga, I will be freed from samsara. Look at this. So satsanga is considered very important. Even Lord Shiva himself seeks satsanga, says. That will come in the 12th canto. Now, 17th verse. Satyasisho hi bhagavan tava padapatnam ashistathanubhajata purusharthamurte appeva marya bhagavan paripadidīnan vashreva vatsakama nugrahakatarosman. O Lord, to a devotee of yours who is desireless and ever engaged in worship of thee, thy feet are the sole object of quest. He seeks no other boons. You are the one who protect the weak and the suffering, even as a cow protects its newborn calf. After listening to Dhruva's hymn, Bhagavan was pleased and he said, Bhagavan said, Bhagavan vacha Vedaham te vavasitam hridi rajanya balaka tat prayachami badram te durapamapi suvrata. O princely boy, I understand what you have in mind. I shall grant it to you. Even though normally it is inaccessible, may you be happy. Now what Bhagavan did? Nanye radishtitam badra yad brajishnudruvatshiti yatra grahakshartataranam grahakshartataranam Taranam Jyotisham Chakramahitam. There is an eternal luminary known as Dhruva among the heavenly bodies which none has attained till now. All the planets, nakshatras and other galaxies are centered on it. So all the nakshatras disappear at one time. But Dhruva nakshatra never disappears. All the saptarshis you must have seen. At least wedding time you must have seen. Arundhati. Arundhati darshanam is there, no? Yeah. Arundhati is part of saptarshis, right? Now after you succeed to the throne of your father, you will rule over the earth 36,000 years. Those days they lived long. Satyuga. 36,000 years. Same body, okay? Now your brother Uttama will meet with death while hunting, and his mother Surishi, while going about searching for her son, will be consumed in a forest fire. After ruling over the kingdom for a long time, 36,000 years, you will attain to that realm of mind that is Dhruva, Dhruvaloka, which is superior to every other realm, and attaining which man never returns to earth. After blessing Dhruva, Bhagavan disappeared. Then Maitreyi says, Dhruva went back to his palace with somewhat uneasy mind. Even though he got the blessings, but still he was not happy. Why? The 27th verse. Prapya sankalpa nirvanam nati pritobhyagat puram. Now Vidura asked this question. Why? He had the darshan of Bhagavan. How come he is not happy? So, Dhruva says, Samadhina nega bhavena yat padam vidussanandadaya urdhvareda saha masairaham shadbhiramushya padayo chayamuvedyapagada pradhangmadihi. Alas, in short period of 6 months, I attained to a state where I could see near me Bhagavan, in front of me Bhagavan. I had attained that. Even Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, etc., they practice great tapas And yet, the fool that I am, I have abandoned it owing to my worldly ambitions. Why mukti was in front of me, moksha was in front of me, but I did not ask that because of my material ambitions. Shame unto me, else see how my hankering after material fulfillments has influenced me to prefer these short-lived, short-lived material pleasures even after attaining to the feet of the Lord. He says, it must be the jealousy of gods. They fear that I might surpass them. That has affected my intelligence and prevented me from gaining moksha. So, then what happened? We'll tell you next time. Now today we got Upadesha from Bhagavan Narada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Yeah. Next class. Yeah, 16th and 18th. Right. Then afterwards, Navaratri, you people are disappearing, right? I will also disappear. I will also disappear. I'm going to Columbus. They said no problem. Adios. From where? 28th. When is Vijayadashmi? I'll be. second. We can have? No, can't have class.